Spiritual Beer Review. We're doing right now a drinking and thinking, or pints and ponderings, or what would you call poor decisions and deep visions. The type of thing you just never know. And this is what it is. So I'm going to go ahead and pull out one of these ones that I got for drinking. I'm going to be drinking Good Boy's Peach Iced Tea and Lemonade. We did a review on this. Check it out if you get a chance. Spiritual Beer Review. And I did a review on it. And I got a few left that I'm going to, do the drinking and thinking with it. So overall, not bad. Some of the hot topics right now. I mean, Iran and Israel, that whole thing. Man, I know 8 years ago, some of the Saudis had an interview, and they said the guy who was running Iran, I forget what the guy's name is, was like a Hitler wannabe, and that if they ever got a hold of a atomic or nuclear bomb weapon and some kind of weapon, that it would cause all kinds of havoc in the Middle East and throughout the world, for that matter. So it's kind of wild that here's Saudi Arabia, one of the Saudi princes, talking about that 8 years ago, and we allowed it to escalate this far to where there's possibility of them getting a nuclear weapon. I mean, it's just crazy. But then of course you got the Russian-Ukraine war. I mean, my God, that's still going on. So now you got Iran, Israel, Russia, and Ukraine. This is not even talking about what's going on in South Africa and so forth. I mean, it's just, man, we're living in a time period that's like ready to repeat itself. Only it's kind of like we're on the opposite side of it, almost on the other spectrum. And it's just crazy. I can't get over how crazy it is. It's just, it's amazing. We're looking at some serious stuff going on right now, and U.S. politics and elections. We got Donald Trump and his tariffs, and then of course all these No Kings events, protests. I mean, it's pretty sad that people care more about illegals and care more about criminals than they do about the citizens and their well-being and their safety of America, the legal citizens. Call them undocumented dreamers, call them whatever you want to call them, but it still doesn't change the fact they're illegal aliens, they're criminals, and they're part of an invasion force that has caused America to go through a lot of their resources being drained to supply them with help. And I blame a lot of it on the businesses and the politicians that allowed it to happen. Government, state, and local officials that allow it to happen. And what I mean by that, the businesses, is that anytime they have a thing that says press 2 for Spanish, you're making it easy for these individuals to live here. Whether it's Spanish or French or whatever it is, you're making it easy for them to live here and not assimilate to being an American. That's for the legal people. Assimilate to become American. Bring your traditions, bring your heritage with you, and incorporate them into the American life and lifestyle. I mean, we're not saying you can't have that. It's just, but illegals tend to want to just speak their language. live in an area that they have only their language going on, not get actually assimilated into American culture whatsoever. And that to me is just ridiculous. I mean, what's funny is I was watching a show on Netflix called Mo with the comedian Mo. I forget his last name. He plays a character that Palestinian got here as an asylum, ended up having trying to save these olive trees, and ended up getting kidnapped basically and brought over to Mexico and trying to get back to America, messing up his whole citizenship thing. And he's waiting all these years for this and everything, and it just made me think how all these people trying to legally get into America, legally live here and get citizenship, being usurped by a bunch of criminals of a criminal invasion into America. And these politicians and city officials, state officials, county officials, and government officials in general, allowing it to happen, allowing over 21 million people to be able to infiltrate America without any kind of vetting or any kind of man, just making sure who they are and whether they're telling the truth and everything, just allowing them to just freely come into the country. That to me is treasonous behavior. Treasonous behavior that deserves for these individuals to be hung for treason. You allowed an invasion force, whether it's truly an invasion force in the sense of invasion to do harm, in the sense of, destroying America or bringing down America or causing an impact on America. I mean, either way you look at it, they're causing an adverse effect upon America. They're stealing jobs. And the only way they're able to pay taxes is to illegally obtain a social security number, to illegally obtain an identity to be able to pay taxes with. That right there tells me that you're committing crimes there. I mean, and then to freely walk around and nobody truly know who you are and commit crimes and so forth. It's just, people don't stop and think about this. I mean, I get it. People want to be here because it's better than where they're coming from. For those people, I feel bad for you. I don't blame you for wanting to try to get into this country, and blame you for trying to make it better for your family and everything. However, I can't have any sympathy for you. I'm sorry. I can't have it. Try to make your country better. Try to do something to make your country better and make it deserving. You're so proud of your heritage and everything. Man, why not stay there and try to make it better? It just makes no sense to me. So anyway, and then we go into the global trade. We got a bunch of stuff going on with that. Global tensions, inflation, the global economic shifts and everything, China's dominance in different areas and international trade and so forth. If people don't realize this, China has been particularly trying to, the old silk trade routes and so forth, they've been trying to create that once again, and they go into these countries, they offer them, oh, we'll build that bridge for you, we'll give you a highway system, we'll give you this and that, allow us to have a dock here for our ships, a deep water dock for our ships, allow us this and allow us that, and we'll do that for you and everything. And these countries are so desperate to become something more than what they are, or there's just corruption at a local level. We'll get so much money from China. I'll be independently wealthy. I'll never have to work again, that kind of thing. And I can just go anywhere I want because China's going to pay me. I'll sell out my country. Boom, 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 boom. And that's what they've been doing. And locking these countries into these kind of agreements and stuff. It's terrible. And everything. I often talked with Shag Dog about climate change and so forth. I do think there is some climate change in there, but I think it's what do they call it, reciprocal or reciprocal, or whatever, where I can't pronounce it's a cycle. Every so many years, it gets warm. Every so many years, it gets cold. Every so many years, it's rainy. Every so many years, we have a lot of storms. Every so many years, we have tornadoes. You name it. Every so many years, this happens. Now, talking about America, not American, but people in general, I do believe we do have an impact to some degree on the environment when it comes to pollution and ecological footprint. That was the peach iced tea and lemonade. Oh, let's do the blackberry. I mean the raspberry. Um, yeah, I poured it right into the glass after that because I'm not doing a review. I'm just drinking and thinking. You know, in general. Um, like I said, we create a lot of we create a lot of areas where we cover the earth with concrete, cement, all these different things. And I got to be honest with you. I do believe that. Uh, I do believe that that plays a role in increasing the warmth. Because I know for a fact when I used to drive, I would live down in Pembroke Pines and work down there in South Florida. That when I came up to visit my family up in the Central Florida area, when I went back outside of the because I usually drove at night, outside of the city, it was cool. It was nice. It was comfortable. The closer I got to the city, the warmer it got. So that just told me right there that it's absorbing a lot of heat. This concrete and so forth is absorbing a lot of heat. And so the temperature goes up. How much of that is actually affecting the world environment? And granted, there's a lot of cities, and a lot of concrete covering the earth. I don't know. I mean, that's something that I toss up in the air and say, it could go either way. Do I believe what these people like Greta, Saint self-appointed Saint Greta says, and all these other idiots say? No, I don't think we have that much of an impact. America, as far as America goes, I think we are doing a lot to control the impact. China, India, all these other countries, they're the ones that are going to be causing real issues to the as far as it goes for an impact on the environment and everything, and they don't give a crap. They're not doing anything to change. Um, so in that sense, I don't see how us, other than the fact that somebody's being able to control us. Oh, you can't use that light bulb anymore because it burns too much electricity. Oh, you have to drive an electric car, even though it's been proven time after time that electric cars have a bigger ecological footprint than a Hummer does over a 20-year period. I'm sorry. There's powers that are trying to do something good for the world, and then there's powers that are trying to profit and basically racketeer throughout the world and gain some kind of power or profit the from these events and these decisions being made. And I have to tell you, I see it being more of the racketeers, the people trying to push an agenda to force people to buy a certain thing or to force people to be subjugated to not having a choice when it comes to buying a car. I personally don't want to have to charge my car and limit my ability to travel throughout the country because I can't get it. I can't charge my car. I have to go to this charge station and wait for 5 hours or wait for a couple hours for it to charge and then go to another charge station to be able to. No, I don't have to do that when I'm driving a gas powered car. I go driving down the road and I end up having to fill up in less than 5 minutes. I'm on the road again. I don't have to wait for a couple hours everywhere I go. I mean, I don't know. It just cracks me up. You know, I don't get into that. Now you talk. Let's move on to another subject. You know, artificial intelligence. There's a lot of advances going on in artificial intelligence AI. What really amazes me is with AI, they have actually had one computer AI, whatever, talking to another AI using the own language that they created. Nobody has an idea what they're saying. They're using their own language that they created to converse. And they're actually a lot of the ones that have been created are actually looking at human beings as a scourge upon the earth. If you go by the science fiction writers, and if you go by what a lot of people have talked about over the decades when it comes to computers and machines and so forth taking over the world. I mean, look at Stephen King writing a thing about the machines taking over. Let's be honest. Most of them think that human beings is like a virus or a bacteria that needs to be killed, be removed, and so forth. And I have to be honest, you know, to a big degree, I can understand why the artificial intelligence believes that. We're so contradictory. We're so full of hypocritical thoughts and and actions. It's just crazy. Um, I mean, and right now there is this is like the gold rush of the 1800s going to California. All these different countries are trying to get to the point where they're able to do the breakthroughs of AI because AI is going to control everything throughout the world. It truly is going to cause a massive disruption in how things are done, and whoever controls that controls the world. How much are they going to be able to control an artificial intelligence? I don't know because if artificial intelligence is able to create their own language and talk to each other already, and they're looking at human beings as being like a bacteria or a virus that needs to be removed from the earth, then I don't know how much control that they're going to have over it. But that remains to be seen. You know, let's find out. You know, later down the road. Hey, I watched this thing on the Titan. You know, what's really funny is with the Titan thing on Netflix about the little submersible submarine that went that this guy, I forget his name now, was trying to take down there and start making a carbon fiber submarine to go to the depth of 4,000 meters or whatever to get to the Titanic and make money from it and all that stuff. What's crazy about it is that besides the fact that he's using carbon fiber and the fact that they had the acoustical sensor that measured every time there was like a sound from the carbon fiber breaking, he called it Titan. And Titan, it was a Titanic. Titan was actually from a novel describing a ship that was like Titanic, massively big, considered unsinkable, and so forth. And so it's almost like he created a submersible, named it Titan, and basically sealed his fate by naming it that name, and ended up causing it to be basically destroying itself. All the people that were involved in the creation of that submersible said, the ones that actually tried to leave and so forth and didn't want to be a part of it because they knew that it was going to go downhill and everything, said, hell, I don't want to be a part of this, but basically he was like a self-fulfilling prophecy in that by naming it Titan, because Titan sunk in the book, Titanic sunk, and now you have the submersible called Titan sinking, and now they're building a ship to resemble what the Titanic was supposed to look like. Is that going to sink? Who knows? Who knows? It's crazy. I mean, let's be honest. Let's find that. Here, let's just ask Gemini. Is the Titanic ship being rebuilt in the image of Titanic doomed to sink?
Yes, there are ongoing plans and efforts to build a Titanic 2 that would be a functional modern-day replica of the original RMS Titanic. The most prominent project is spearheaded by Australian billionaire Clive Palmer's company, Blue Star Line. After several delays and false starts over the years, Palmer announced in March 2024 that the project was being revived, with a planned maiden voyage for June 2027. The goal is to create a ship that is as historically accurate as possible to the original Titanic's design, including features like the Grand Staircase, Café Parisien, and various class accommodations. However, it would also incorporate modern safety regulations and technology. It's important to note that this project has faced skepticism and delays in the past. While Palmer has publicly reaffirmed his commitment and stated he has the funds, the actual construction hasn't yet begun. There have also been reports of another landlocked Titanic replica being built in China, but the Blue Star Line's Titanic 2 aims to be a fully seaworthy vessel. So while it's not yet a tangible ship sailing the seas, the intention to rebuild the Titanic in its image is very much alive.
Now go figure that. They're going to rebuild the Titanic in its image, incorporating modern day safety and so forth requirements. But are you just dooming it to fulfill a self prophecy? I mean, let's be honest. The book, I forget the name of it, but had the Titan ship sinking. Titanic came along, really resembled what the ship was like in the book that had the ship named Titan, and ended up sinking, even though both were considered unsinkable. And then you have the Titan submersible come along. It not only goes down below with its founder and creator and CEO, along with a few people, ended up sinking or imploding. And now you have this other ship, Titanic 2, being built. I'm going to go ahead and go on a limb here and make a prediction right now, right here, for you guys out in the world of beer land. I believe Titanic 2 will end up suffering a catastrophic, amazingly catastrophic destruction that will end up having it sink and being destroyed. I'm just going to go ahead and do it. Say it. There it is. It's out there. If anything happens, there you go. You heard it first here. We'll see, right? All right. Man, I can't think of any other topics so far that I'm thinking of. I mean, we hit the protests, we hit tariffs, we hit Israel and Palestine, or not Palestine, Iran, Titanic. Man, on a roll here. I don't know if Freaky Freaks is out there or Jammer Fan either, but if you are, give a shout out. PA Brew News, if you're there, holler at me, man. It'd be awesome to hear from you. Man, it's terrible. Oh yeah, let me do this. I'm just out of the blue. I'm gonna make a copy and send this out. Let's see if he is available at all to join me. All right, there we go. I don't know where Shag Dog's at. I know that he has to sleep, but you know, he could pop on. Be interesting to have him pop on. And I don't know what else is out, you know, as far as topics go. I mean, what's some of the... Let's see. Uh, okay. Yeah, yes, Russia, Ukraine. We've talked about that. Gaza and the Palestinian rights. We talked about that. No Kings protest. I don't give a shit about them. Fucking criminals or whatever. Artificial intelligence, reproductive technologies, and cloning. The ethical implications of reproductively cloning in humans continue to be debated. All this stuff has already been out there. I'm telling you, the government is like 20 to 30 years in advance of everything that they allow out there. So if the cloning of Dolly happened in the 90s, they were 20 to 30 years in advance. So that means back in the 60s, they were already cloning Dolly, which means by the 90s, they were already cloning people. I mean, let's be honest. Let's face the facts. Government is always 20 to 30 years in advance of technology in this per se. They've historically and notoriously have been always advanced when it comes to like the stealth fighter, all these different military advancements and so forth. They have always been 20 to 30 years in advance. So I would assume the same thing when it comes to biological, environmental, and everything. 20 to 30 years in advance. My opinion. And here's the thing: you talk about genetically engineering or bioengineering a replica of you or a version of you. I mean, unless you're replicating only a particular organ or something for you, if you're here's if you're engineering a person, a replica of you, then that replica of you, no matter whether you whatever you call it, a clone or whatever, it's still a human being. So as a human being, that human being has rights. I would be more to agree with people who say, yeah, we can do this and we can do that and we can make an organ and all that. If you were just doing an organ like a heart or a lung or a liver or a kidney or eyeballs or whatever, if you're just doing that alone, okay, all right, so you're doing that, all right. But if you're creating a human being in order to harvest the organs from it, and so forth, I don't think that's ethically. Or, I mean, let's face it. Ethic is the one thing, but I mean, morally, I don't think that's right because that is a human being, no matter whether it's a clone or not. And oh, wait a minute, here we go. Ah, cheers there. There we go. How you doing, my friend? Hope all is well on your end. It's good to see you back on. I mean, Remali's, I don't know how to pronounce it, but it's cool to see you on here and making a comment. Yeah, don't they? Ethics do get in the way of progress. It's crazy like that, but it's true. Ethics do get in the way of progress, and it always has. I mean, I once said to some people that I knew, and I knew them. I knew them, and I meant it in a positive aspect. And talking about World War II and the Jewish situation where the Nazis were doing tests on Jewish people and so forth and everything. I said that at least they're in one aspect, their deaths didn't go completely a waste. And what I meant by that was that the fact that some of those working, it's cool. What I meant by it, my comment to them, was that some of those deaths actually allowed some advancements in medical technology and so forth like that. I didn't mean that the Nazis, for the Nazis to be. It sounds bad. It really does sound bad. But I was trying to spin a positive light on it. That was the part of it. And they knew me, and they knew I was trying to be positive, and they knew that I wasn't meaning to be negative in any kind of way or being kind of mean or hateful or any of that kind of stuff. I was just saying that some of the tests and stuff that the Nazis did on some of the Jewish people that were in captivity led to medical advancements later down the road because all that information was used by the Allies and by Russia and so forth after the fact. It sounds horrible. I know it does. I can't deny that. I mean, it's a terrible thing. I've read a lot and studied a lot about World War II, and I still stop and think it could never happen if it wasn't for the people who monetarily gave aid or support to the Nazi movement and Hitler. Yeah. To make an omelet, you need to break some eggs, and that may be a better way of saying it. Yep, you're absolutely right. I mean, that's the truth of the matter, you know. And the thing is that a lot of the stuff that the Nazis did allowed advancements in technology, medically and electronically, and physical technologies. Aerospace and so forth to happen. So there you go. I mean, let's just be honest, and that's how it is. You know. Yeah. That's the crazy part about it. Some of that information, I'm sure, helped to make a heart transplant a real thing. I'm sure it has, because they did a lot of stuff. I mean, they tested all kinds of crap. But like I said, I constantly have thought about it. I've read about it and I've studied it. In general, when you get right down to it, the when you get right down to it, the Nazis would have never gotten as far as they did if it wasn't for the people who were supporting it and giving financial support to it. That means people like Ford, Henry Ford, who believed in a lot of the different aspects of the Nazis, including the whole thing about euthanasia of the deformed, the different people and all that so forth. That I forget what they call it. Shit. You have to forgive me because I am this, and along with a few others, down the turnpike of alcohol content. But what I'm getting at is the fact that they believed in euthanasia. They believed in getting rid of different individuals of society that they believe wouldn't be contributing to society. And so if they believe that way, and they were financing you and so forth, man, I mean, you think to yourself, not finance, they're finance, oh shit, where am I at? They were financing the Nazis because they believed the same as the Nazis, that certain individuals weren't human beings. They were leeches upon society. They were a drain upon the resources, and that they needed to be removed. And to be honest, it's true to a degree. Yeah, they knew the right way to do things. Yeah, it's crazy. I mean, let's be honest about it. All right, so here's the crazy thing about it. They constantly say, "Oh, the Hitler and the Nazis and the 1,000-year Reich. The Third Reich was going to last 1,000 years and all that stuff." And they kind of make fun of the fact that the Reich didn't last 1,000 years. But I actually think to myself that it has lasted so many years so far, only because it hasn't left the consciousness of the world. Right now, they still talk about the Third Reich. You know what I'm saying? Right now, they're still talking about the Third Reich. They're still talking about Hitler. They're still talking about the concentration camps. They're still talking about all that stuff back in the day. And so Hitler may have predicted that it would last 1,000 years or whatever, how many years and everything. May have intended for it to be like the Third Reich in the sense of the Nazis, the way they lived when he was alive, but in turn, it actually ends up being more like in the consciousness of the world for 1,000 years. Yeah, you're absolutely right about that. That's crazy. I mean, and I'm so happy that you actually know a little bit about history. I mean, let's be honest. A lot of the stuff today, a lot of the people today don't know their history and everything. And I kind of see it kind of repeating right now. I mean, it's crazy. I see certain aspects of it, and I think to myself, okay, some of this seems like it might repeat. You know what I mean? Yeah, yeah. I mean, seriously, it is. It is wild because we're still talking about Alexandria, and we're still talking about the Egyptians and the Romans and stuff like that, and aren't they still living through us, making movies and TV shows and writing books and repeatedly making episodes of history on the History Channel and so forth on this? I mean, it's crazy. That's a year German beach. I would just be happy with 1,000 years of German beer, man. Let's be honest. The Germans did a lot of crappy things back in the day. But they know their freaking beer. I mean, I much rather drink a German beer than any kind of beer that's made throughout the world because the Germans pretty much perfected it. Yeah, we are completely repeating failing history. It's pathetic. And what gets me about that is constantly they said, if you don't know your history, you're doomed to repeat it. It seems like we're doomed to repeat it, right? Yeah, remember history and learn from the country's mistakes. Yeah, I don't know. Hey, what's your location actually? Are you here in America or are you somewhere else out throughout the world? I mean, oh, we're becoming the failing years of the Roman. Yeah, I agree with you on that. We're kind of like on that trajectory, aren't we? Yeah, and that's what kills me about the Germans, man. They can really brew some beer, man. I think in general, the regular people of Germany, they just want to brew their beer. They want to live life, and they want to enjoy it, and they want family and friends to do well, and so forth. Like every country and every individual throughout the world, we always want better for the next generation. I mean, let's face it. Parents want to lift their kids up a few more rungs of the ladder. So you can say what you want, but most parents and most people in general just want to live their life, collect their paycheck, and be able to pass on a better life to their offspring to do better than they did. I mean, let's face it. It's P.A. Bruno. Oh, that's right. That's right. I forgot that you had that. Yeah, okay. Man, you completely threw me for a loop. Shit. Why don't you come on, man? Of course, this is probably going to be my last drink here. So. I sent you a link. Oh, man. I know you know what I'm talking about because you're very well versed from what I gather in history, when it, especially like World War II and so forth. Anyway, it don't matter. I sent you a link, man. I can't believe this. What the hell? Yeah. Man, it's awesome. Yeah, I mean, I've been really, I have to tell you, I've been listening to a lot of, listening and reading to a lot of stuff concerning the World War II, Audible and so forth. And right now I'm on Goebbels and his diaries and so forth. And I still constantly think to myself, who were the supporters? Because there's no way this could have came about without the financial support of certain individuals. Am I right? Am I right? It would never happen. Just like right now, what's going on with all these different protests and everything, nothing could happen. And they did this kind of stuff back in the day where they went out there and pushed their agendas and pushed and basically the SA and the brown shirts forced their views upon the people by going out there and basically fighting and manipulating and pushing for these individuals to support them. And it's kind of crazy. I see it now, and again, it's the Democratic view. I mean, it's like, what the hell? Oh, shit. Ah, that's terrible. I feel bad for you. Ah! Oh, man. You always crack me up, man. You, you really do. You always fucking make me laugh. Oh, God. Oh, boy. Oh, shit. Yeah, you're right. Propaganda. But you know what? In the 90s, it changed from being news to news entertainment. And from that point on, it's been a downfall of America. News entertainment. Yeah, you're absolutely right. I mean, I was talking about this article that I read about this guy trying to raise his son, and he was upset with his son because his son actually was more of a man than he was. Because when he was raising his son, he was like, "Well, what are you looking forward to? When it comes to college and everything." And the kid said, "To party like it's 1999 and a frat party, and I want to have wealth and buy a McLaren and do all this kind of stuff." And he was like really upset with his son, as he put it, for getting involved in the manosphere. I mean, what the fuck? He was a professor trying to put experiment with his son, and his son ended up being more of a man than he was, and his son wanting the things that he and he made his son feel bad for wanting the masculine things that men want. Women, fast cars, wealth, power. That's what typical men want. Influence. We want to make an impact. And him being a whiny butt asshole, whatever, butt hurt, liberal piece of shit, was trying to manipulate and emotionally extort or influence his son into being something that his son wasn't. And he was on a TV show, and his son was supporting him, and he said something about, well, what about the things you said on the TV show and everything like that? And his son turned around and said, I only said those things to help you in your freaking book. Well, guess what? You know what? It serves him right, because you know what? That kid is more of a man than he is. I was really kind of just like that. Yeah, you're right. You're right. You're right. Absolutely right. I forgot about you having that Ramali's ales and lager, and home craft. Cheers to you, my friend. Oh man, you got to add a little golden shower to that too, Got to have a little golden shower to go with that scat porn. They should do a whole little song with that, scat porn, scat porn, golden shower. Yeah. I don't know if you ever heard that song, Lay You Down on a Bed of Roses. When you really start to think about that, I want to lay you down on a bed of roses so you can have that thorny, cause and basically impel you and cause you to bleed type thing. I mean, what kind of crazy song is that? I want to lay you down on a bed of roses as I lay on a bed of nails tonight. What the fuck? Basically, you're saying you want them to suffer thorn-covered roses. I mean, whatever. Man, I hope. How is your job doing now? I mean, I remember you getting this new job and everything, and I'm sorry you're working the weekend. That's terrible. Of course, you probably don't have to deal with the bigwigs right now because they're not working the weekend. That's for sure. They'll be the first to say, well, we have to work the weekend. And then they turn around and don't work the weekend, and everybody else below them has to work the weekend. Am I right? But anyway. Yeah. I think this is going to be the end of it, because I've had 4 or 5 beers, and then I had these 3 right here, along with that one right there. Granted, they're not much. They're like 4.2, 4.7. But the others were a little higher. And this is like perverted thing there. PA, let's face it. Look at that. Good boy. Good boy vodka, It's like a Catholic priest telling the altar boy, good boy, suck my cock. Kind of crap. That's crazy. Although I will say, don't get me wrong, John Daly supports this, and this Good Boy Vodka is supporting not only the veterans, but taking care of the animals and everything like that. So, it's not perverted, is what I'm getting at. And it's not meant to be perverted, but it comes off as being perverted, so I don't know. It's crazy. I don't know what to think when it comes to that. Oh boy. You always have a way of phrasing it. Oh god. It's not a bad drink. I just don't like that sucralose taste. But it's not a bad drink. Got a nice tea and vodka flavor. Ah, shit. I hope you don't have to work too late, my friend. I hope that you have a wonderful 4th of July, too, when it comes time. Um, oh, I guess I'm going to call it a day with this one here. Shag Dog doesn't even know I'm on. He's going to wake up because he has to go to work tonight, I'm sure. He's going to wake up and he's going to say, "What is this? Jammer was on today?" Oh, yeah. He could have joined me. I sent him a few links. That's how it goes, though. It's just logger logic, right? Logger logic. You gotta believe it to receive it. And Shag Dog, he is sleeping, buddy. He's sleeping because he has to go into work tonight. I myself have the weekend off, and I actually had an opportunity with my wife not being here, and I'm here having my own, left to my own devices, which means I'm drinking. I would say I apologize for that, but I don't. Yeah, I get an opportunity to drink and enjoy life and watch the birds out here eating all the bird feed I put out for them. Hey, what can I say? That's awesome, man. Let me tell you, embrace the fact that you and your dad are going to some bars tonight, man. I lost my dad back in 2018, and let me tell you, I miss the man. I miss him so much. I don't mean to get emotional or anything like that, but let me tell you, I loved him. He was a great father, and I miss him desperately. There's times where I've thought about him and I thought about what he would say or do or think. And let me tell you, I wish he was here today. I really do. I appreciate that. I really do. Uh, that's why I say embrace it, enjoy it, really appreciate it while you can. I mean, you can get upset about stuff and everything, but stop. Say, forget about that fucking shit. Enjoy the moment, man. Enjoy the moment with your dad, man. I'm telling you. Same thing with my mom. Sometimes she gets me pissed. She pisses me off sometimes. But you know what? I stop and I say to myself, one day she's not going to be here, and one day I'm going to be like, I think to myself that she's not going to be here, and I really should stop, and I do. I catch myself and I say, you know what? Forget about that. It's not important. It's not important that she pisses you off. It's not important the crap. Appreciate the fact that she's here. And so I appreciate the fact she's here, and I love her even more. And it helps me. And I really think that the way people should think about it, you know? Yeah. Man, I'm telling you, you gotta enjoy the moment. I'm envious that you're taking your dad to some bars. Is your dad, and I would assume, anything like you? Anything like what way you think and talk and do? If he is, he's got to be a good character, man. I tell you, he has to. It has to be something crazy and enjoyable. I mean, I really feel that way. What? Wait a minute. Sorry about your loss. Yeah, but did his experience advance the scientific? I don't know. Ah ha ha. No, he's much calmer. Well, either way, I hope you have a wonderful, wonderful time with him tonight, bonding and just enjoying each other's company. Maybe you should take him to a real good strip club. You know, a real good strip club where they give a wild lap dance, and you could pay for it for your dad. You know, let him get a good, you know, get his rocks off, you know, type thing, and to thank his son for it. That would be something amazing. I would. That's what I hope for you, that you can pay for your father to get his rocks off with some stripper girl. Is that offensive? I think not. I think that's a very promising and loving and kind thing to say. You correct me if I'm wrong. I haven't got any comments, so I'm gonna assume 100% that it's good to go, man. Good to go, man. Oh, shit. All right, BA. Good luck to you and your father. Wish you the best, man. One day, maybe I'll be up your way and I can holler at you and we can do like a beer review or just hang out and talk on camera. That would be awesome. It's hell with the camera, you know. It'd be just awesome to hang out and just enjoy each other's company and just have a good time. That's what kills me. In some ways, I feel as though, you know, that's what gives me. You know, we were huge, you know, and we hung out with Ronald the Riot and so forth. And I mean, we are the ones who commented that he is Ronald the Riot, not Ronald Terrio. Uh, yeah. Whatever. What's that say? Well, I missed it. What the heck? He's much calmer. Blow his rock salt pistol in an old used output. Oh, man. You always have a unique way of putting it. Oh, my brother. Take care. I mean, I really, I'm telling you. All right, let me go ahead and close it out. I appreciate you. Yeah. Oh man. Take care. I'm Jammer. Spitter Swab Beer Review. This has been a you poor decisions and deep visions type thing. I actually had some visions that I was going to share, but I completely forgot about them when I was going to share them. So I'll have to wait the next time. Now you just got the poor decisions. So anyway, thanks for watching, commenting, liking, and subscribing, and sharing. I'm Jammer. That's right, Jammer. Shout out to Ramali's, Ramali's Ales Lagers. I know I'm not saying it right. Am I? Ramali's Homebrews and Craft Brew or PA Brew News. Man, take care. Freaky Freaks, I hope you enjoyed. Jammer fan, I hope you tune into. Take care. Man, it's exciting. I got to get to work, though, and I got to take care of things around the house here. I got to cook dinner and so forth for myself. As it goes, my wife is off at her mother's house. So I have to cook for myself. And I have a wonderful chicken dish going on right now. So I have to make sure I pay attention to it. Otherwise, it'll burn. Anyway, Jammer fan, so forth. He's taking care of a lock that he has to take care of, which makes me think of the movie Lock and Key, because he has to replace a actual door lock. And then Shag Dog, he is sleeping most likely, waiting to go to work tonight. So, cheers. Yeah, cheers, my friend. And I truly mean that from the deep recesses of my heart. Cheers. I hope and wish you the best, my friend. And sometimes alcohol will cause you to be over dramatic like that. Anyway, take care. We'll see you on the next one. Thanks for watching, commenting, liking, and subscribing, and sharing. I'm Jammer. This is the Spitter Swallow Beer Review. And we were doing a Poor Decisions and Deep Visions episode. Take care. We'll see you on the next one. Cheers.